Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Swoop Podcast. It's your guest Dante Fantuzzi, and I'm here with my partner
Josh Sanchez.
And we have a crazy weekend of basketball.
Especially Sunday.
Yeah, so this our podcast for the night, we're doing strictly basketball, nothing else.
Yeah,
we're going to start it off. Well, yeah, football's done until we get to free agency.
Yes.
I mean, okay, since, you brought the whole football thing, quick football news, and this is it. Nothing else about football. The Jaguars traded tight end Julius Thomas to the Miami Dolphins for a future pick. I feel like it was a win for the Dolphins. Now they have another end zone threat in Julius Thomas to go along with Jay Ajayi. But that's all I'm going to say.
And Landry.
Okay, Landry too.
But that's it, yeah.
That's all we're going to say about our football. We're sticking to basketball this podcast. And to start everything off, big news. The Sacramento Kings traded DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, I mean, if you're, a true fan to our podcast, probably waiting for us to hear our opinions and hear what we got to say.
Yes.
You want to start off with your opinion? Want me to get mine off my chest?
I'll start with mine. I'll give you a little bit to think about it a little bit.
It's already there. So whenever I'm ready, I'm letting it loose.
I think this trade, like based off of talent, DeMarcus Cousins, in my opinion, is the best center in the game. He can hit the three. He's dynamic. I think he was almost averaging 5 assists or something, or 4 assists, something
4.9,
crazy.
4.9, but
4.9, so almost
5
5 assists a game
right.
from a center. He was pretty much doing everything for the Kings. Mm-hmm. So talent-wise, I think the Pelicans is a great trade for them, but you only give up Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, who is old and has injuries, doesn't have anything left in him. Top 20 pick.
He's a role player. Role player guard.
And I don't even know who the third person is because he hasn't done anything. I already said Buddy Hield.
Oh, you didn't say Buddy Hield?
Yeah, the third person. I had no idea.
Oh no, it was 2 picks.
Oh yeah, and a second round pick.
And it was
No, it was 3 players, but
3 players.
Yeah, Bleacher Report.
I thought it was 2 players.
It was 3.
Oh, okay.
But
as a matter of fact, while you're discussing, I'm gonna go search it up and you give
the only guy I see really that could develop, that has a chance to develop, is Buddy Hield. But out of that, Tyreek Evans, he had that great rookie season, but that's pretty much been it. Injuries have hurt his career. And the Kings, my fault. The Kings, they have had a history of bad moves. Their franchise is just a joke. The fact that their fans raised money so they can get a new stadium, and that ownership
I'm not trying to cut you off real quick. The trade was the Pelicans get DeMarcus Cousins and Omri Caspi. And the Kings get Buddy Hield, Tyreek Evans, and Langston Galloway.
With
2 picks. Quick shout out to Langston Galloway. He did go to St. Joe's U, which is not far from here.
I know. I hope he develops to be a good player, but right now, based off of talent-wise, DeMarcus Cousins, in my opinion, is the best center in the league. Yeah, you can say he has attitude problems, but the guy is worth more than just a top 20 first-round pick of this year's draft. You're not going to really draft anyone with the 20th pick that's going to be DeMarcus Cousins' caliber. Like, you're not getting a top 5 pick. And also, the Sixers have the right to swap with the Kings pick now. And if the Kings continue, like, pretty much what everyone's saying, they may pull some wins here and there, but with 24 games left, I don't see them winning I see them winning only 4 or 5 games out of the final 24. And, out of all the players, I'll repeat, Buddy Hield has the most potential. But as we've seen through the Kings and their recent moves and everything, their ownership, they need a change in ownership or something. And to conclude on what I was going to say about this topic, the Kings a couple days ago had a better offer for DeMarcus Cousins. And they didn't negotiate quick enough, and now they actually got less than what they were supposed to get a couple days ago. My fault. And that right there, the owner goes on air and says that I'm not even a Sacramento Kings fan. Imagine if ownership did this in Philadelphia, he would be gone. Bye, see ya. But that's pretty much what I have to say about this topic. How about you, Dante?
I am in complete disagreement with you. I think this trade was horrible for the Pelicans, but great for the Kings. Let me tell you why. The Kings have went through, what, 6 coaches in about 7 years he's played there. You mean to tell me, well, that tells me right then and there, your superstar player, the best center in the league, is not coachable. Can no coach coach him if you just literally went through 6 coaches in 7 years, and one of them being the great George Karl. That just tells me right there you're not coachable. 2, another reason why I think the Kings win this trade, DeMarcus Cousins is the biggest hothead in the league. We enter the All-Star break. He leads the league in a landslide with the most technical fouls in the league. Leads the rest of the league in a landslide. And he was the biggest headache for that franchise. Okay? You lose your best player, but you get your franchise back. That's how I see it. And another thing is you're getting Buddy Hield, who potentially, like you said, potentially, in my eyes, potentially can be a superstar player or an all-star player. I think he's still going to be if he turns out to be what he is going to be, he was the key piece to that trade, like the management said from the Kings.
Oh yeah, my fault for interrupting, but the reason why I'm saying the Kings management is a joke is because their scouting department has just 2 guys that don't even come to the games and watch the games for college players and also for the Kings players too. They drafted guys like Ben McLemore, nowhere. Jimmy Fredette, nowhere. So their draft choices have been weak.
But we all seen what Jimmy Fredette was doing when he was in college.
Yeah.
He was the hottest thing coming out of college. He wasn't the number 1 pick, but he was the hottest thing coming out.
I know. But also the Kings, the Sixers have their 2019 pick.
Mm-hmm.
We have rights to swap with them this year. Like their franchise is like literally if the ball drops the Sixers' way, their franchise can be screwed for years to come.
Well, that's their franchise, not the Sixers franchise.
And that's why I come back to ownership. They need to change.
Now I'm going to talk about why the Pelicans lost this trade. You already have arguably the best center in the league. Right or wrong. Anthony Davis, arguably the best center in the league.
He can play both power forward or center.
That's why it's arguably. Now you add DeMarcus Cousins. These are 2 rising young superstars in this league. And when DeMarcus Cousins, when he was with the Kings, the offense was run through him. Everything went through DeMarcus Cousins. Before DeMarcus Cousins got there in New Orleans, the whole offense was run through Anthony Davis. Now you have 2 young superstar players, one of them being the most ridiculously hothead player in the league, leading the league, and I repeat again, leading the league by landslide in technical fouls with 16.
I know. I think he has 18.
16.
No, because he got suspended
No, it's 16. Then you get a suspension.
Yeah, he already got suspended. He got another technical after that too, I believe.
Oh well, then that's on him. You just added more to my point.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to
add more to my point.
Prove some stats to it.
Now, for the Pelicans, you're losing Buddy Hield, a guard. Now, so I mean, not only now you're losing a guard, you have 2 players who, if one of them pretty much doesn't get his way, is going to want to fight everybody in DeMarcus Cousins. Anthony Davis, I mean, I've literally had people come to me today say, oh, well, Anthony Davis could play the 3.
No, he ain't playing no 3. Anthony Davis is now playing the 4.
Okay,
Cousins playing
now
the 5.
listen to this. If Anthony Davis can play the 3, he's going to get beat every time off the ball because he's too slow.
He's not playing the 3. He's playing the 4. Okay. That's exactly what he's playing.
So
whoever argues about that, Anthony Davis is a 4 or a 5. Okay. The Pelicans, the reason why they wanted DeMarcus Cousins was because they wanted to put the pressure off of Davis at center. Because Davis would have on defensively.
All right, so then what pressure are you putting on Davis? Because if Davis is feeling the pressure to play center, then you shouldn't play at all. Your job is to be a big man down low. And, I've had people come to me saying, oh, well, he can't do it all by himself down there. My man, before the trade, you had Asik. He's pretty much a good backup role player. For when you're on the bench getting your rest, You're trying to tell me he's not a good backup role player?
Offensively, he's terrible, but defensively, he will give you some rim protection.
I just don't understand, and then that's where those two are gonna crash because both offenses, like I said, will run through them. So now you're gonna have two players who need the ball and are gonna want the ball.
Yeah.
Now it's like putting a plate of food in between two cats and telling them both to go eat, and there's not enough food. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, and then another thing is, you don't have any guards now. The only guard you have is Drew Holiday, and he's injury prone. Every year he finds a way to get injured. So just what happens if he decides to walk in free agency? What are you gonna do now? You're gonna go out and draft a point guard? No, because you traded the pick.
Yeah.
You traded it. So now you can't even get a valuable guard in the draft now. In the first round or the second round. You cannot get a valuable guard now. You're going to look to free agency to assign a good guard. All the good guards are already signed to multi-year contracts. The only one that's yet to get signed, I believe, was Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, he got a multi-year. He's good.
Look at that. You can't even get Russell Westbrook.
I mean, there's also other guys, like you have Paul George. But I mean, I think Paul George is probably going to go to the Celtics or some other hot team right now. But, I mean, right now we have not seen them play at all yet. So
we haven't, and that's why everybody keeps saying, oh, well, they're going to come out and they're going to take the league by storm. Yeah,
No.
on paper. But if you actually think that they're going to sit there and take the league by storm,
No, they're
you
not
got
taking
another
the
thing
league
coming.
by storm.
And let me tell you, if the Pelicans just magically get the 8th seed into the playoffs, they're going to lose within the first 5 games to the Warriors. And, you know, people are going to be like, oh, well, their matchup is in the front court. You know, the Warriors don't have anybody. Okay, so what about when the Warriors play the Clippers? Their matchup is lost, literally right there. Where you had DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. What did they do? One game they won 144-98. That's 46 points.
Yeah, Curry was cooking everyone.
Are you serious? Come on, I think it was a horrible trade for the Pelicans. People are telling me, oh, well, the Pelicans know what they're doing. No, they do not know what they're doing. I think it was a horrible trade, and you're criticizing the Kings management.
The Kings management has been a joke.
I don't care what you think. The Kings won that trade.
The Kings win.
The Kings won that trade.
Well,
in years to come, the Kings are gonna have. All right, listen. You remember that stat you brought up not too long ago about Carmelo Anthony? How since he's left Denver, Denver has more wins.
Yes,
than
Denver
Knicks
has
do
now
with
reached
Carmelo.
more
It's gonna be the
wins.
same thing with the Kings. I guarantee you, it's gonna be the same thing.
I hope that does happen because the Kings have been so bad for so long. They're like the fans literally have raised money just to keep them in Sacramento, and the ownership does that to the fans. I thank God I'm not a Kings fan because I'd be going crazy right now. But
if I'm a Kings fan, I'm celebrating.
I don't know if I'm celebrating because they were competing for the 8th seed. Like they were only a couple games back with DeMarcus Cousins. And I mean, what the ownership has done recently for the Kings, there's nothing exciting.
But listen, you
have DeMarcus Cousins
keep criticizing the ownership.
Yeah, it's the ownership.
Okay, but the on paper, the Kings do not have a bad team when they still had DeMarcus Cousins. They still have Rudy Gay. His situation went south.
He's been injured.
He's hurt.
He's been hurt. He gets hurt every year.
Ben McLemore, an athletic
Bust.
listen, he doesn't have to be a superstar, but he's an athletic guard who can give you 10 points at where he's at. You bring in Darren Collinson. He's not the best point guard, but he's I think in my eyes, an average point guard.
The Kings had Isaiah Thomas, Hassan Whiteside, and DeMarcus Cousins just 2 years ago, and they let both of those guys walk.
The Kings never had Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas played for the Suns.
No, he was on the Kings.
He was on the Kings?
He went to the Kings, then he went to the Suns, and then he went to the Celtics. 2 years ago, because Isaiah Thomas went to the Suns for a little bit, and then he was with the Suns, then he was with the Kings. It was either one of those two orders. You had Isaiah Thomas, you had Hassan Whiteside, and you had DeMarcus Cousins, and you let all that talent go away. I mean, right now, like I believe that, like this trade is a whole bunch of what ifs, because DeMarcus Cousins has said on air that if he does get traded, he's not re-signing with them. So I think I agree on your side that the Pelicans are stupid, and I think the Kings are the dumbest because of all the talent they've wasted.
You're right. Okay, it was my correction. He played for Sacramento his first 3 years in the league.
Yes.
Then traded to Phoenix, and then Phoenix traded him to Boston.
Yes. And the Suns made a mistake too of Isaiah Thomas too. But I mean, I'm not going to talk about Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas didn't really explode until he got traded to the Celtics.
No. Dante, I remember this picture. Isaiah Thomas had the exact same stats as Kyrie Irving. It's just he was playing for the Kings and they were losing games, whereas Kyrie was on the Cavs and the Cavs were starting to do something special there. I hope the Kings can have like the thing the Sixers have. They need a total rebuild. Sam Hinkie is right around the corner around that area. Might as well give him a job. Let him do all the fancy trades. Trust the process right there. But as a trade standpoint, DeMarcus Cousins, it's a big what if. I believe DeMarcus Cousins is only going to play for a little bit and then he's not going to re-sign with them, only because, like you said, he is a hothead. But if they find a way to re-sign him, not next year, but they have something to build upon with Davis and Cousins being the dynamic duo. He's not just going to come in there and they're going to snap right away. But if they find a way to keep DeMarcus Cousins on the Pelicans with Davis and they find a connection, then I think all you need is a couple guards to surround him with it. You're not going to get it this year's draft, but maybe the draft after. But this trade is a whole big what if. What if this, what if that? I believe DeMarcus Cousins, he's not going to resign. It's going to lead to this big thing. I think both teams are going to lose in this trade. This trade is dumb.
And to piggyback on what you said, this is the most guard heavy draft.
It is
in
the most
years.
guard heavy. Yes, it is.
So really, the Pelicans shot themselves in the foot
for guards.
Badly. That's if Drew Holiday decides to leave, because Drew Holiday has been tied to little rumors saying he's gonna come to Philly.
Nah, he's not.
Or he's gonna go somewhere else.
If
Drew Holiday decides to leave, the Pelicans are screwed. If Willie Cauley-Stein can become a all-star center or a big-time center, it's even better for the Kings. Because there you already found the replacement, and all you got to do, you already have Buddy Hield. Yeah. You can go out and draft a point guard with the pick that the Pelicans gave you, and they still got their pick.
They'll have our pick because we'll swap with them.
I don't think the Pelicans. I think the Sixers will. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they're not going to swap picks. I just have a feeling it's not going to happen.
Because it all depends on how the ball drops in the lottery, and I believe it's sometime in May. That's when we'll find out with the draft order. Because if the Kings find themselves ahead of the Sixers, we're swapping right away. And thank God I'm not a Kings fan or Pelican. Pelicans fans, they're all excited. That's the most excitement they have had in a while. Mm-hmm. They finally get a stud like DeMarcus Cousins. It's just they got to find a way to tame him, like you said, because he is a hothead. That's the only disadvantage of him. Talent-wise, he can do everything for your team. And to play with Anthony Davis, they've already played in Kentucky together too, but that was a while ago. And they were dominant in Kentucky, so we're just got to wait and see what happens. You have Drew Holiday. As a point guard, I would love to play with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. I'll drop dimes for days. Right. But that's all on Drew Holiday on what he wants to do. So yeah, we pretty much summed up like who do you think is going to win the trade? You said the Kings. I say the Pelicans right now because this is just based off of on paper, on talent. I have not watched them play yet.
So basically, another thing I'm going to say is...
Just got to wait and see.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. But let's say if they do make the eighth seed, I'm saying that right now the Warriors will win that series in 5.
In 5?
In 5.
I'm actually gonna give them 2 games. I'll let them win in 6, only because the Pelicans, if they can find a way to have guard play...
Think about it like this. Who are they gonna? Who do they now have that's gonna guard Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Russell and
But you could say
Kevin Durant.
you could say the same thing about the Warriors, because the Warriors' weakness is rebounding and big men.
It is, but
And you have DeMarcus Cousins and
who
Anthony
was the
Davis.
best? But who's the best shooting the best shooting tandem in the league?
Yeah.
Like this team does not miss their shots at all. And matter of fact, let's not even forget. You know what? Draymond Green, who is in my eyes the most, how can I say it?
Like emotional. He's like a leader. He's the leader of that team.
You could probably say that, but I'm not
Like
not
emotional. Like the spark.
Not emotional, but like he's the grinder. He's the grinder out of that group. He's gonna grind his way through no matter what. And like you said, he's the leader of that team, so he'll grind through. But
like
he's also bringing that team with him. He's also putting that team on his back and grinding through. And that's where Steph Curry does his thing, Klay Thompson does his thing, and now you have to worry about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So that's where.
Again, for me, I just have to wait.
I'm saying it right now. Early projection. The Pelicans shot themselves in the foot. I don't care if you have Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins on your team. You shot yourselves in the foot. Because when was the last time we heard of Twin Towers actually doing something in this league?
David Robinson and
You
Tim
said David
Duncan.
Robinson and Tim Duncan. Look how the league is now. Everything is small ball. It's not how it was back then where your point guard was 6'10". For the Lakers, your point guard was 6'10" and Magic Johnson. That's not happening anymore. Everything is small ball basketball now. Where the big, Kevin Durant's now playing the center for the Warriors. There's been times when they've have their five on the floor where it's Curry, Thompson, Durant, Draymond, and Iguodala on the floor.
Yeah, and then Durant's playing. Well, Green would be playing center, and then Durant's playing power forward.
But Durant's bigger, just taller than Draymond. So you have that Kevin Durant, who's never played the five a day in his life, not playing the five. So everything is completely small ball in today's basketball world.
And then maybe the Pelicans are going to try a new trend. I mean, just as you can go your direction, I'm just telling you the other direction. Maybe the Pelicans are going to start a new trend of having two bigs that can, because I mean they're not typical big men that can't shoot. DeMarcus Cousins can shoot the ball. Anthony Davis mid-range game, ridiculous. And Davis can hit the three, not as consistent as Cousins, but he can still hit the three.
He's not. Josh, he's not stepping out that 16 to 18 foot jumper. He's not stepping out of that.
I mean, I have faith in him and DeMarcus Cousins, but for me, I have to see them play first and see how it works. But on paper, as the topic question, as of right now, who won the trade? Of course, the Pelicans won the trade right now because you arguably got 1A and you got 1 and 2 centers in the league.
Listen, let me tell you this right now.
Big men in the league.
Let me tell you this right now. If you think the Pelicans won this trade, then I'm not. Listen, how can I best sum this up? If you think the Pelicans won this trade, you're just a basketball watcher. You don't analyze basketball. Literally, I've read the trade. Oh, dang, this is a good trade. Wait, hold on, let me analyze it. Wait, no, the Kings won this trade, and let me elaborate how. And I'll elaborate it to you. I've had literally about 3-4 people come and tell me the Pelicans won this trade, this, that, and the third. Oh, but did you see it this way? Then I've literally had, because I was winning the argument, somebody wants to say, oh, well, Anthony Davis played point guard in high school, so he could play point guard for the Pelicans. Excuse me?
Nah.
Are you serious? Oh, he was a point guard in high school, so he got handles. There's a difference between high school basketball and the NBA. High school basketball, you could be the superstar of your high school team, but there's a bunch of amateurs also playing around you who probably are on the floor because their coach likes them as a person or likes their personality or thinks, yeah, they're okay. Or literally, oh, well, they come to practice every time. They work hard, but the talent's not there, so we're just going to put them on the floor.
Like that.
So where the NBA is, everybody in the NBA is a star. Where's their superstar? Was the superstar of the high school team? The best players in the country or around the world play in the NBA. So if you sit there and literally think Anthony Davis is going to play point guard because he played it in high school, no, you got another thing coming, buddy. No.
I mean,
and if you think Anthony Davis can play the three, Come on,
No,
he's too slow.
he's not playing the
You
three.
really
He's
think
playing
Anthony?
the four.
This is what I've heard. This is what literally I've heard.
Well, that's
I've
not me.
heard Anthony
That's
Davis
not
say.
me. I'm not that
I've literally
stupid.
heard these people say Anthony Davis can play the three and he can guard Kevin Durant. Yeah, okay, okay, all right. Well, let me know when they play and let me know who Anthony Davis is guarding, because I for sure know he's not guarding Kevin Durant.
He probably guard Draymond.
You could literally switch that either or.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because this is kind of like a similar situation with the Nuggets, but I think the Nuggets got more from Carmelo Anthony than the Kings did. But moving on to our next topic.
We are sticking with basketball.
Yes.
Just a quick sum up of the All-Star weekend. I thought it was a great 3-point contest, and I also thought it was a pretty good dunk contest from what I've seen.
That was the most missed dunks I've ever seen in a dunk contest.
Yeah, but I did think these dunk contestants were bringing out a little something that we haven't seen in a while. They brought back some spice back into the dunk contest from what I've seen in a while.
I mean, I think the problem is last year we probably have seen the second greatest dunk contest of all time, arguably, with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
No.
Like, you put them right up top with MJ and them. People were saying Aaron Gordon was, like, he should have won. Like, he was the most snubbed second place finisher since
Iguodala.
Iguodala
when he lost to Nate Robinson.
And Jordan's opponent. I forget. I don't know exactly who it is. I don't want to say something crazy.
Listen,
because they were going back at it.
Listen, all the dunk contest, the three great. I think I'm gonna place this in my literally top 5 dunk contests I've ever seen. My number 1 dunk contest I've seen was the one when Vince Carter broke out the when he got titled Vinsanity. That's the best one I've ever seen. The second best I've ever seen was the year, I think it was 2006, or it was something like that. It was Iguodala and Nate Robinson. When Iguodala had Allen Iverson come out and he threw the ball off the back of the backboard, and Iguodala somehow brought it back around. That one right there is I still watch that dunk contest till today, and I still don't know how Nate Robinson. Who did he jump? I think he jumped over Shaq.
I don't know. I mean,
somebody 6'10", 7 foot for 5'4". Yeah. Come on, that vertical is crazy. And I mean, and to get back to what I was saying, sorry for falling off track. Derrick Jones,
he'll be back.
He'll be back, but I mean, Derrick Jones, he could just jump out the roof. And I've witnessed it, literally. Quick shout out to Derrick Jones. He played high school basketball 3 minutes away from here at Archbishop Carroll. And I obviously went to Newman Goretti. I'm an alumni of Newman Goretti. Rival school, rival teams. Every year they play each other, sold out gym, no matter where it is. And I've literally witnessed him do some things that I've never even witnessed I'm not going to say in the NBA, but I've just witnessed things with this playing against this person that I don't think I will ever see again. Ever. Because he can just jump out the roof. So quick kudos to him. I think he's from Chester's, Phillies. Philly wanted it too.
He wanted it too.
But, shout out to Derrick Jones. I thought he brought back some of that spice to the NBA dunk contest with that side dunk that he caught off of Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. And jumping over 4 people, I believe it was. So that really impressed me. I'm watching Aaron Gordon fold. Like that's one of the reasons why I just it's a dunk contest. I'm tired of seeing like a lot of misses. Like, I don't know what Aaron Gordon was doing.
Yeah, like it was so embarrassing with the drone. Like, he missed 3 times and we got to reload the drone, and everyone's like looking like, "Yo, what are you doing, Aaron Gordon?"
No, I think the reason why it didn't seem so flashy to you because I think if he landed it on the first one,
yes. If he did
this dunk was crazy. But I mean, it did take him a couple tries to get it off. So, I mean, things happen.
I'm telling you, like with the dunk contest, like as much as I have respect for Glenn Robinson III and the guy you mentioned earlier, like Derek Jones, I want to see some like big name guys go at it. Like
they'll never see it.
I know, and that's on the players. And I believe, like, I mean, I understand the All-Star break is kind of like fun and stuff like that. But if you're a big time player, why not try for the dunk contest? Like, why can't we see like a LeBron James in the dunk contest, or like LeBron? Because I mean, like we saw DeAndre Jordan's dunks. He needs Chris Paul for him to dunk the ball effectively. He didn't. Like, I mean, DJ Khaled made his performance look better because he was on Snapchat while he dunked. Which DJ Khaled's funny, but
I mean, I just like, overall thought it was a good dunk contest.
Like I understand your spice, but we need to add some more spice. Add LeBron in there.
So what you're saying is you want a big name superstar in the dunk contest?
I want a couple big name superstars. I want to see them go at. I want to see some.
But Josh, I'm sorry to break it down to you, bro, but we're not.
Yeah,
we're not gonna get it.
I know we're not, and that's
and
why.
If we do get it, it'll be far from now.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I mean, I'm a fan of All-Star Weekend. Like, I love the 3-point contest. I love the slam dunk contest. I like the ideas.
Kudos to the 3-point winner,
but
Eric Gordon.
I'm not impressed. Like, I'm not as amazed from All-Star Weekend as I feel like I should be.
I mean, hey, everybody's there to have fun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's what we want to see. So they just give it to us, but it's not what we used to see when we were younger. So
yeah, because I mean, when we were younger, I'm not gonna lie, like they played harder. Like I look back at like the All-Star game and stuff like that. Like like towards like the third, fourth quarter, that's when they started like really playing defense and stuff like that. I just want them to make the game a little bit competitive. So we can actually like see some defense on there. I mean, everyone loves dunks and threes and stuff like that, but after a while, you want to see some defense. You want to see some shots over people and stuff like that. That's just my personal opinion on it. But yeah, as you're saying, the 3-point contest winner, Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, my fault. Eric Gordon. And to be honest, out of all the forms I saw, I've seen Klay Thompson's form and stuff like that. Klay Thompson's form is amazing. But Aaron Gordon's spin on the basketball is like, it's pure beauty. It's same routine, same spin every time. I knew he was my prediction to win the 3-point contest. I said that going in. I said he's gonna win. People were like, oh no, Klay Thompson. I said, well, we'll see. We'll see about Klay. I mean, and that's what happened.
Well, I'm looking at a chart right now. Voting results of who they thought were gonna win the 3-point contest. In order, everybody had it was 3,688 votes for Klay Thompson. 2,368 votes for Kyrie Irving. Finish off the top 3, it was Nick Young finishing off the top 3 with 1,038 votes.
Wow, Aaron Gordon's not even in the top 3.
Nope.
He's top 5 in the league in 3-pointers, man.
Then it was to finish off the rest of the list. It was C.J. McCollum, Kyle Lowry, and then Eric Gordon. Then to finish off the last 2, Kemba Walker and Wes Matthews.
Yeah. Everyone, Wes Matt. Come on, let's be honest here. Wesley Matthews was only in the 3-point contest because he hit 10 threes in one game.
He got invited. He took it. So I mean, hey, but Eric Gordon really did shock everybody with that one. I feel like he did.
He did fold though, like the shot for the win, and he missed it. But then he beat Kyrie in overtime. So Eric, he has had. And a huge success. He's had a lot of success this year with the Rockets. Top 5 in 3-pointers made. No one really. I mean, people talk about him, but he's not. He should be talked about more because his jump shot
literally
form.
Left the Pelicans.
He left the Pelicans.
Left the Pelicans to go and be successful.
Yes.
So when you're not with the Pelicans, you're not successful. It just goes to show us.
Because again, the Pelicans and the Kings have had such a recently. Every move they make is just a big disappointment. And I feel like this move for both teams is going to be a huge disappointment. DeMarcus Cousins going to leave the Kings, not sign with the Pelicans, lead all this drama. And he legit said he wanted to stay in Sacramento. And
he's saying that just to say that. Honestly, what was he going to get out of Sacramento there by himself?
Word. You're true. I mean, the ownership, scouting, They all need. They
He's
need
been
a
there.
change.
He's been there for like 7. He was there for 7 seasons. Never won more than 36 games. And we're talking about DeMarcus Cousins.
It's just a disappointment.
So
the Kings, man.
We don't know what it. I think if with this trade to the Pelicans, we're gonna see whether it was a management or it was DeMarcus Cousins. And just a quick projection, I feel like it's DeMarcus Cousins, not the management.
I think it's completely the management. Because it's not just draft though. It's
but I'm not saying like all of that. Honestly, okay, we got the draft and all of that. But if you're going through 6 coaches in 7 seasons, what does the management have to do with that? They're trying to bring you somebody that can mentor you and make you better, but you just literally keep getting them fired. And like I'm gonna say again and repeat, the great George Karl coached you, and now he's bashing you out in a book. That just goes to show who you are. And then you're getting technical fouls. You lead the league by a landslide in technical fouls. Are you serious? And then not only that, see now, if you answer that, what does the management have to do with you getting leading the league in technical fouls?
They drafted him.
They didn't draft him. They traded for him.
Oh snap! They did.
After his first season, I can't remember what team drafted him specifically.
But
he got traded to the Kings after his first season. But the team that originally drafted him played there for 7 seasons, 6 coaches fired, leads the league in technical fouls by a landslide. And then not only that, we're getting constant videos of you arguing with reporters. Literally, but ready to fight these reporters. So that doesn't go back to. So to me, that's not the management. It's the player. It's the character that's in him. It's his personality. It's DeMarcus Cousins.
And DeMarcus Cousins has played with the Kings his whole career. I just double checking.
He played with them his whole career.
Yes, even his rookie year.
I need to know who traded. I know he got traded.
I mean, either way. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. DeMarcus Cousins is a hothead, and it's a shame because he is so talented. Like, didn't he drop like 50-something points this year?
Then now, you know what? Then who was it that got traded? Somebody got traded. I'm trying.
I mean, right now I don't really know, but his stats are crazy. Him and Anthony Davis, 1A, 1B, for all big men in points. Hopefully they can find a way to play together, and the Pelicans can finally have some success. But we all just have to just wait and see. Dante, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to wrap things up?
I mean, listen. The Pelicans shot themselves in the foot. Literally. But out of all of this,
we just have to wait and see.
Nope. Out of all of this, you know what team really won the trade? A team that didn't even participate in the trade.
Who?
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, yeah, 76ers.
Definitely won this trade.
Trust the process. Thank you, Sam Henke. We're gonna swap picks with them. I'm telling you.
Exactly. So let's just say if the Kings end up getting a better draft pick with the Sixers, we still have the rights to swap.
And we get their 2019 pick. I mean, we don't know who the draft is and stuff like that. The Kings are going to be bad for a
2019 unprotected first-round pick. And I'm satisfied with that.
I'm satisfied with that, too.
Literally satisfied with that. But I feel like throughout all of this, it leads us to another topic that will be discussed for next week.
Or later this week.
We're going to have to make it later this week because the trade deadline is Thursday. So we will be making another podcast this week. And one of our topics is going to be, what about Jahlil Okafor? Where is he going to go? Is he going to stay with the Sixers or are they going to trade him? We don't know because remember, all the teams that were interested in Jahlil Okafor were the Pelicans. Now they just got DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
The Nuggets and the Blazers and the Celtics. The Chicago Bulls. So 3 of those teams have traded for big men. Now it just leaves us to one more team, the Chicago Bulls. Are the Sixers going to put something off by the deadline? We don't know.
Yes.
And one more thing, just to finish off our podcast, we will have a special guest this Wednesday.
Or Thursday, one of those 2 days.
One of the 2 days. Our next podcast, we're gonna have a special guest, Cabrini basketball player. I'm not gonna give up too information.
Okay.
Just know that we will be conducting a live interview.
Oh yeah.
With my boy. His name is Keith. Cabrini
First take
team.
too. Questions on the spot.
There you go. So we hope you all enjoyed, and we are out. Swoop.
Swoop.